I watched a transgender person lose their shit over absolutely nothing. This is my story. Yesterday, I called up an old veteran buddy of mine and my dad's, and I ain't seen him in a while, and I wanted to take him to dinner and just kind of catch up. So I called him up, asked him to supper. He said, yeah, and I met him down at the restaurant in the parking lot. We walked in together, went and sat down at the booth, and the waitress come up to us and said, hey, can I get y'all something to drink? He said, yes, ma'am, I believe I'm going to have a sweet tea. Zach, what are you going to have? Before I could answer, the waitress cut my buddy off and said, excuse me, but I don't really believe in genders. I actually identify as they, them. So whenever you address me, can you make sure that you address me as they, them? He goes, I don't care about that. Zach, you gonna have sweet tea? I said, yes, sir. He said, 2 sweet teas, please. They walk off, bring back the tea. When they set the teas down on the table, they say, just consider what I told you. This is a new day and time, and you really need to honor what people identify as. He goes, okay, I'll consider it. Me and him sitting there shooting shit, chewing the fat, shit like that, and she comes back about 5 minutes later, says, can I get y'all something to eat? He said, yes, I'm gonna believe I'm gonna have the all-American cheeseburger. Zach, what you gonna have? I said, I'll have the same all-American cheeseburger, just add bacon to it. And they say, okay, well, have you considered what I told you about earlier? He said, I'm still considering, but I tell you what, before you run off, would you mind topping off this tea? Because he had drank about that much out of his glass. They ran, got him the tea, brought it back to the table. While we were waiting on our food, waitress passed on by again, stopped by the table and said, do you need any more explanation? Like, I would really like to talk about this some more, the way I can get you a full understanding of why I am the way I am. He said, no, I don't need any more explanation, but I tell you what I do need. I need you to top off this tea for me. This is some good tea right here. They take the tea, they go and top it off, they bring it back to the table. The food comes out, and we sitting there eating, and as we're eating, they come by and they say, hey, y'all need anything else? Y'all need ketchup or anything like that? And say, no, we're good. It's delicious. Thank you. And before they walk off from the table, they say, you sure you don't want to talk about this some more? I really feel like I can get through to you. He goes, no, I just want to eat my cheeseburger, but I tell you what I do need. I need you to top off this tea for me. I'm telling you, some of the best tea I've ever had. They go, top off the tea, and come back. Now, let's fast forward to when they bring the check. When they bring the check, they walk up to the table, and they throw the check on the table, okay? And they say, you're going to accept me for who I am, okay? You have been dodging this situation since you walked in here. You are going to accept me for who I am. I am a person. You can't deny that, and you need to honor my wishes about who I identify as, and you need to address me as such. Well, my buddy takes his last bite of hamburger, wipes his mouth, looks up and says, let me explain something to you, the difference between me and you, okay? I was going to tip you very well because you were a very good waiter. You really were. You were fantastic. My tea was always full. You checked on us throughout the entire meal and everything. But because of what you just did, you just explained something to me that I already knew about you. You being noticed and acknowledged is more important than you getting paid. Because now you get no tip. You see? Because you were rude to us right here at the end of our meal. And up until this point, you were a pretty good waiter. I didn't do anything bad towards you. I didn't misaddress you. I just didn't address you as anything. But because I didn't adhere to your little agenda, you got mad. So now you've explained to me that it's way more important for you to be acknowledged than it is for you to be paid. And that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. We want what's in the pocket. Y'all want some kind of recognition, and I'm not going to give it to you. We walk out of the door of the restaurant after that, and I looked at him and said, man, what, like, how'd you know that was going to happen? And he looked at me and he said, Zach, I'm old, buddy, but I've learned a few things throughout the years. Most people, when they come at you, they just want a reaction. Because if they get a reaction out of you, it means they have power over you. If you give them no reaction, they have no power over you. And that drives people crazier than you can even imagine. Keep that in mind next time you're in a situation like this. So I learned something today. Not every action deserves an equal and opposite reaction. Sometimes you just got to kill them with kindness. That's some cool shit. And she lost her shit over absolutely nothing. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to go back there today and get her fired. Because, you know, that's who I am as a person. Love y'all to death. Y'all enjoy. Shit.